There is a silent tragedy unfolding in the lives of countless people today. It is not poverty. It is not failure. It is not even loneliness. It is the endless hunger for validation. Many people wake up each morning and unconsciously surrender their peace to the opinions of strangers. They measure their worth by attention. They evaluate their success by applause. They shape their decisions according to what others might think. Without realizing it, they become prisoners of invisible judges who were never qualified to determine their value in the first place. The Stoics understood this danger centuries ago. They recognized that the moment your self-worth depends upon external approval, your freedom disappears. Your emotional state becomes a puppet controlled by forces outside yourself. Praise makes you feel elevated. Criticism makes you feel destroyed. Acceptance fills you with confidence. Rejection fills you with doubt. In this condition, you no longer govern your own life. You have handed the steering wheel to the crowd. Marcus Aurelius, one of the most powerful men who ever lived, warned himself repeatedly about this trap. Despite ruling a vast empire, he constantly reminded himself that fame was fleeting and public opinion was unreliable. He knew that the same crowd that celebrated a person today would forget them tomorrow. The same voices that praised a man could condemn him the next day. To build your identity upon such unstable foundations is like building a house upon sand. Think carefully about how much human behavior is driven by the desire for approval. People stay in unhealthy relationships because they fear being judged for leaving. They pursue careers they do not love because society labels them prestigious. They silence their true opinions because they fear criticism. They purchase things they do not need to impress people they barely know. Their lives become performances rather than authentic expressions of who they truly are. The tragedy is not simply that they seek validation. The tragedy is that validation can never permanently satisfy them. The approval of others functions much like salt water to a thirsty person. For a brief moment, it seems to relieve the craving. Soon afterward, the thirst becomes even stronger than before. This is why so many successful people remain deeply insecure. They achieve recognition but still feel empty. They gain admiration but continue seeking more. They receive applause yet remain terrified of losing it. The problem was never the amount of validation they possessed. The problem was their dependence upon it. Stoicism offers a radically different path. Instead of seeking approval from the outside world, it teaches you to build an inner fortress. Instead of asking whether others approve of you, it asks whether you approve of your own character. Instead of chasing attention, it encourages mastery over yourself. At the heart of this philosophy lies one of the most powerful ideas ever conceived: the dichotomy of control. The Stoics divided reality into two categories. The first category contains things within your control: your thoughts, your choices, your actions, your values, your responses. The second category contains everything else: the opinions of others, the economy, the weather, political events, outcomes, recognition, reputation. Most suffering occurs when people become obsessed with controlling things that do not belong to them. Imagine planting a seed. You can prepare the soil. You can water the ground. You can protect a young plant from obvious threats. These actions belong to you. But whether the rain arrives, whether insects appear, whether the harvest becomes abundant, these things remain outside your complete control. A wise farmer focuses on his responsibilities. A foolish farmer spends his days worrying about clouds. Likewise, a wise person focuses on character. A foolish person obsesses over reputation. When you seek validation, you are attempting to control something that ultimately belongs to other people. Their opinions exist within their minds, not yours. You cannot command them. You cannot guarantee them. You cannot permanently influence them. The Stoics understood that peace begins when this reality is accepted. This acceptance does not mean becoming cold or antisocial. It does not mean hating humanity or rejecting meaningful relationships. It means refusing to make your emotional well-being dependent upon forces you cannot control. A person who masters this principle becomes extraordinarily powerful. Why? Because they become difficult to manipulate. Most manipulation operates through approval and disapproval. People reward conformity with praise and punish independence with criticism. If you desperately need acceptance, you become vulnerable to both tactics. You begin adjusting your behavior to avoid rejection. You stop acting according to your values and start acting according to the expectations of others. The Stoic refuses this exchange. Their self-respect does not come from applause. It comes from integrity. Their confidence does not arise from popularity. It arises from competence. Their peace does not depend upon acceptance. It depends upon alignment between their actions and their principles. Such a person cannot easily be controlled because their center of gravity exists within themselves. This is where solitude enters the picture. Modern culture often portrays solitude as something negative. People fear being alone. They associate it with failure, abandonment, or social inadequacy. Yet the greatest minds throughout history frequently sought periods of deliberate isolation, not because they hated people. Because they understood the value of silence. Solitude creates space for self-examination. It removes distractions. It interrupts the constant stream of external influence that shapes most human thinking. When you are always surrounded by noise, you rarely hear your own thoughts. When you are constantly consuming the opinions of others, you may never discover your own. The Stoics valued solitude because it allowed them to strengthen their relationship with themselves. They understood that a person unable to sit peacefully with their own mind will spend their entire life running from themselves. Consider how many people reach for their phones the moment silence appears. A few seconds alone with their thoughts feels uncomfortable. They seek immediate distraction, endless scrolling, endless entertainment, endless stimulation. But discomfort often contains important information. Sometimes silence reveals fears we have ignored. Sometimes it exposes insecurities we have hidden beneath activity. Sometimes it forces us to confront truths we would rather avoid. This process can be uncomfortable, but it is also transformative. A sword becomes stronger through fire. Character becomes stronger through reflection. The Stoics believe that self-mastery begins with self-awareness. Before you can improve yourself, you must first understand yourself. Solitude provides the environment where this understanding becomes possible. There is another advantage to solitude that many people Overlook. It protects your energy. Every interaction carries influence. Every conversation introduces ideas, emotions, expectations, and pressures. Some influences strengthen you, others weaken you. A person who never spends time alone gradually loses clarity regarding which beliefs genuinely belong to them and which beliefs have merely fairly been absorbed from the crowd. Strategic solitude acts like a filter. It allows you to separate your authentic values from borrowed opinions. This is why many powerful individuals throughout history periodically withdrew from public life. They understood that constant exposure to the crowd can cloud judgment. Distance creates perspective. When you step away from the noise, something remarkable happens. The urgency of public opinion begins to fade. The criticism that once seemed devastating loses its power. The praise that once seemed essential loses its importance. You begin seeing both approval and condemnation for what they truly are. Temporary sounds passing through the air. Most people spend years reacting. The Stoic learns to observe. This difference changes everything. When someone insults you, the immediate reaction is anger. When someone praises you, the immediate reaction is excitement. Both reactions place your emotional state in the hands of another person. Observation creates freedom. Instead of reacting automatically, you pause. You ask yourself whether the criticism is true. If it is true, you improve. If it is false, you ignore it. You ask yourself whether praise reflects genuine virtue or merely popularity. If it reflects virtue, you continue your work. If it reflects superficial approval, you remain unaffected. In either case, your inner stability remains intact. This level of emotional independence requires discipline. It does not appear overnight. The human desire for acceptance is ancient. It evolved because belonging to a group once increased the chances of survival. Rejection carried significant risks. Our minds still carry traces of those instincts, yet modern life often exaggerates these tendencies. Today, a single critical comment can reach thousands of people. Social comparison occurs constantly. Approval becomes quantified through numbers, likes, views, and followers. Many individuals unconsciously tie their identity to these measurements. The Stoics would likely view this phenomenon as a dangerous illusion. A number cannot determine your worth. A crowd cannot determine your character. Popularity cannot determine your virtue. Only your choices can do that. This realization marks the beginning of true freedom. The moment you stop asking the world for permission to value yourself, you reclaim authority over your life. You stop performing. You stop pretending. You stop exhausting yourself trying to satisfy everyone. Instead, you direct your energy toward becoming someone worthy of your own respect. This shift often produces an unexpected consequence. You become quieter, not because you have nothing to say, because you no longer feel compelled to prove yourself. Many people announce every plan before taking action. They seek encouragement before effort. They seek recognition before achievement. They seek validation before results. The Stoics favored a different approach. Work in silence. Build in silence. Improve in silence. Let your actions speak where your words once begged for attention. There is immense power in strategic scarcity. When you stop constantly broadcasting your intentions, your focus deepens. Your energy remains concentrated upon execution rather than performance. The oak tree does not announce its growth every day, yet year after year it becomes stronger. The mountain does not advertise its strength, yet it remains unmoved by storms. Likewise, the disciplined individual does not need constant recognition. Their confidence comes from progress itself, and as this confidence grows, something extraordinary begins to happen. The fear of solitude disappears. What once felt like loneliness transforms into peace. What once felt like emptiness transforms into clarity. What once felt like isolation transforms into strength. You discover that solitude is not the absence of companionship. It is the presence of yourself. And when you finally become comfortable in your own company, the world loses one of its greatest sources of control over you. The ancient Stoics understood a truth that many people spend their entire lives avoiding. If you require the presence, approval, or attention of others in order to feel complete, then you are not free. Freedom is not merely the ability to go wherever you want or do whatever you want. True freedom is psychological. It is the ability to remain stable regardless of changing circumstances. It is the ability to maintain your character whether the world applauds you or ignores you. It is the ability to stand firmly upon your principles even when standing alone. This kind of freedom is rare because it demands something most people resist. Responsibility. That is easy to blame circumstances. It is easy to blame critics. It is easy to blame bad luck, unfair treatment, or difficult conditions. But Stoicism teaches that power begins the moment excuses end. The question is never, what happened to me? The question is, what will I do with what happened to me? This is where the philosophy of amor fati becomes essential. Amor fati means love your fate. Not tolerate your fate, not endure your fate. Love it. At first glance, this idea sounds impossible. How can anyone love disappointment, rejection, hardship, or failure? The Stoics were not suggesting that pain feels pleasant. They were teaching something much deeper. They believed that every obstacle contains hidden potential. Every setback contains a lesson. Every difficulty contains an opportunity to strengthen some aspect of character. Imagine two individuals facing the same challenge. One person sees only misfortune. They complain. They become bitter. They ask why life is unfair. The other person sees raw material. They ask what can be learned. They ask how they can grow stronger. They ask how this experience can serve their development. The external event is identical. The internal interpretation is completely different. And because the interpretation is different, the outcome becomes different as well. Marcus Aurelius famously reminded himself that the obstacle standing in the path becomes the path itself. The very thing that appears to block progress can become the source of growth. This principle applies directly to solitude. Many people experience periods of isolation and immediately assume something is wrong. They believe they have been abandoned. They believe they are falling behind. They believe their value has somehow diminished. The Stoic sees solitude differently. Solitude is training. It is preparation. It is an opportunity to develop qualities that are difficult to cultivate. Amid constant social noise. Patience. Self-control. Reflection clarity, independence, focus. These qualities often grow strongest in seasons when external validation is absent. Think about a tree during winter. To an observer, it appears inactive. Its branches are bare. Its growth seems to have stopped. Yet beneath the surface, vital processes continue. Roots deepen, strength accumulates, foundations expand. Human development often follows a similar pattern. There are seasons when visible progress slows, recognition disappears, applause becomes scarce, results seem distant. These moments test whether your motivation comes from purpose or attention. Anyone can remain committed when rewards are immediate. Anyone can work hard when praise arrives daily. The true test appears when nobody is watching. Can you remain disciplined then? Can you continue building when recognition disappears? Can you continue improving when applause falls silent? This is where character reveals itself. The Stoics repeatedly emphasize that virtue is valuable even when unnoticed. A good action remains good whether it is praised or ignored. An honest decision remains honest whether others appreciate it or not. A disciplined habit remains worthwhile even when nobody applauds it. The crowd often mistakes visibility for value. Stoicism rejects this. Confusion. Many of the most important victories in life occur in private. The decision not to quit. The decision to resist temptation. The decision to control anger. The decision to remain faithful to principles despite pressure. These victories rarely make headlines, yet they shape destiny. This understanding leads naturally into another powerful Stoic principle: immunity to criticism. Few things weaken people more effectively than fear of judgment. Entire lives are built around avoiding criticism. People suppress ideas, hide ambitions. Conceal talents, avoid opportunities, remain silent, all because they fear what someone might say. But consider this carefully. No matter what you do, criticism is inevitable. If you speak, someone will disagree. If you remain silent, someone will misunderstand. If you succeed, someone will envy you. If you fail, someone will mock you. If you lead, someone will resist you. If you follow, someone will dismiss you. There is no path through life that avoids criticism. Once this reality is accepted, an enormous burden falls away. The goal is not universal approval. The goal is personal integrity. Epictetus taught that if a person speaks badly of you, do not become upset. Instead, ask whether the criticism is true. If it is true, improve. If it is false, ignore it. Such a response sounds simple, yet it contains profound wisdom. Most criticism harms people because they immediately personalize it. They react emotionally before evaluating its validity. The Stoic inserts reason between stimulus and response. They refuse to surrender control of their emotional state. This does not mean becoming arrogant. It does not mean assuming every critic is wrong. In fact, genuine Stoicism encourages humility. Useful criticism becomes valuable information. Destructive criticism becomes irrelevant noise. The difference lies in discernment. Over time, this mindset creates remarkable resilience. You stop viewing criticism as an attack. You begin viewing it as data. Some data is useful. Some data is worthless. Neither category has the power to define you. As this resilience grows, your relationship with success changes as well. Most people imagine success will solve their insecurities. They believe achievement will finally provide permanent confidence. Yet history repeatedly proves otherwise. Many celebrated individuals remain deeply anxious because their confidence depends upon maintaining their status. They fear losing what they gained. They fear falling from public favor. They fear becoming irrelevant. The Stoic avoids this trap by rooting confidence in something more stable than achievement. Character. Achievements can disappear. Money can disappear. Status can disappear. Reputation can disappear. But character remains available in every circumstance. A person can lose everything and still choose courage. A person can lose everything and still choose honesty. A person can lose everything and still choose discipline. This is why the Stoics considered virtue the highest good. Everything external remains vulnerable to fortune. Character belongs to you, and what belongs to you cannot be taken without your consent. As you begin living according to these principles, people may notice changes. You become less reactive, less desperate, less concerned with proving yourself. You stop chasing every argument. You stop defending yourself against every accusation. You stop explaining every decision. Not because you have become weak, because you have become secure. Insecurity is loud. Security is quiet. Insecurity seeks validation. Security seeks truth. Insecurity constantly looks outward. Security develops inward. This is why silence can become such a powerful weapon. Not the silence of fear, the silence of confidence, the silence of self-possession, the silence that comes from knowing your value does not depend upon public recognition. When people cannot provoke you, they lose power over you. When people cannot manipulate your emotions, they lose influence over you. When people cannot distract you from your purpose, they lose access to your attention. This is one of the greatest strengths a human being can develop, the ability to remain focused despite external noise, the ability to continue moving despite criticism, the ability to maintain inner peace despite uncertainty, and perhaps most importantly, the ability to enjoy your own company. Many people spend their lives searching for someone else to complete them. The Stoics would argue that this search begins from a misunderstanding. You are not incomplete. You are undiscovered. The qualities you seek externally often need to be cultivated internally first. Peace, confidence, purpose, strength, and self-respect are not gifts handed to you by society. They are achievements forged through discipline and self-mastery. The journey toward this mastery is not easy. There will be moments when solitude feels uncomfortable, moments when criticism stings, and moments when the temptation to seek approval returns. That is normal. The goal is not perfection. The goal is progress. Each time you choose principle over popularity, you grow stronger. Each time you choose discipline over impulse, you grow stronger. Each time you choose silence over unnecessary reaction, you grow stronger. Each time you choose self-respect over external validation, you grow stronger. Eventually, a transformation begins to occur. You stop chasing attention. You stop fearing rejection. You stop measuring your worth through the eyes of others. You begin standing firmly upon your own foundation, and from that foundation emerges a profound sense of freedom. Not because life becomes easier, not because criticism disappears, and not because obstacles vanish, but because you finally understand something. The Stoics knew thousands of years ago that the quality of your life is determined far less by what happens to you than by the person you choose to become. When validation is no longer your master, peace becomes possible. When solitude is no longer your enemy, wisdom becomes possible. When obstacles become opportunities, growth becomes inevitable. And when your focus returns to the only thing truly under your control, your character, you discover a strength that no crowd can give and no crowd can take away. That is the power of Stoicism. That is the power of solitude. And that is the beginning of true freedom.